Baseball fans, BetMGM is giving you the chance to win a prize every day during the baseball season. Step into the batter's box for BetMGM Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Pick any area of the strike zone and take your best swing. If you get a single, double, triple, or home run, you'll receive a prize. Smash a home run to collect a bonus bet on us. Just log into your BetMGM Sports account to get started. Then visit your promotions section to access the Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. You'll score a prize if you hit a single, double, triple, or home run. There's nothing more exciting than going yard, so swing for the fences with the king of sportsbooks. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Iowa only. Existing customer offers. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary depending on market and expire 24 hours from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Welcome to the podcast, Alien Theorists Theorizing, Case File 4, Mr. Conspiracy.
Wait, you fucked up.
Wait,
What number
what
are we
is
on?
it?
Hold on. Start all over.
How many fingers are there on a hand?
Oh, is this 5?
This is 5.
All right. Continue.
so. Five.
Case file 5.
Case file 5.
This is Case File 5?
Sorry to fucking
Oh, now it's
rain on
good
your
start.
parade.
It's a good start already.
It's a good start. I'm glad. I'm glad you fucked up the intro.
At least I came prepared.
Calling me.
I'm glad we're on Case File 5. Anyways, today's theorists are the return of Mr. Conspiracy.
Yo, yo.
Yours always, Mr. Braden.
That's me.
And I'm Zell.
Like normally, like I want to say my name, and I was like, "Oh, it threw me off." I was about to say I'm Braden, and then you said that, and I was like,
That's what I was expecting too. Yeah.
Hey,
Anyways, today we welcome back, since the first time since Case File 1, I believe, actually.
yeah,
Really? Is that how long?
You were the original Mr. Conspiracy.
welcome back.
First of all, get closer to your mic.
Yeah, you're fucking
me
blowing
get-
it already.
All right.
There you are.
That's a little better.
All right, man.
All right.
No, wait. First off, we're going with
Yeah, we got some things to talk about before we actually get started.
space
here.
Of
weather.
course, yeah. Oh,
Space weather.
was that what the intro you had planned?
Not really.
Okay.
I didn't really have anything planned. I just
Okay,
want to make sure we
yeah.
said our names.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah, no,
okay.
that's all right. All right, space news.
Is that the sound effect you had planned?
Well, I was hoping.
What's that old Lone Star fucking... Remember that old website where it was just like crudely drawn comics?
Oh yeah.
Was it Lone Star?
I know that what you're talking
No,
about. Trogdor.
Homestar Runner.
Yeah, Homestar. Homestar! That's what your voice reminded me of there.
Well, normally we would normally insert our cool space news theme, but no one's made us one, and we are nowhere near.
Shout out to all the
Capable
Ivans out there.
Yeah, thanks, Ivan.
Wait,
We love Ivan, though.
are you texting us right now, Mr. Conspiracy?
Yeah,
I just sent you guys that picture.
yeah,
That is
it's a good picture.
Oh, okay.
of Mr. Braden.
Yeah, looking quite like I'm into conspiracies.
That's one of the best I've taken in a while.
Space news. We are gonna have the first Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. What's the 25th?
I think it's day or eve.
Christmas Day
The 25th is
full moon
Christmas.
since 1977. So
That's pretty sweet.
it's pretty cool. It kind of lines up nice. So everyone in your family is going to be fucking lunatics for Christmas dinner.
Hopefully you got them something nice for
Yeah,
Christmas.
because shit's going to get real. Other than that, there's huge coronal mass ejections right now, CMEs coming off the sun. Some people are saying radio blackouts in some parts of the world. So that means
Really?
yeah, right now.
Sweet.
Not like to the like it's
not
radio
losing-
blackouts, but it's affecting some radio.
Low grade.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Still cool.
So that means though, with the winter, we just passed the shortest day of the year, which means you're getting the most night right now that you can possibly get. Get out there if you got a clear sky, because chances are, if you're in the northern hemisphere for sure, you're getting northern lights, and I'm a huge fan. So maybe I'll even try to take a peek tonight. So
I got one question about Northern Lights. How low do they usually go? Because I've only seen them in
how low
Kelowna.
do they go?
How low do they go? How low do they go? How low do they go? Okay.
All right. Let's,
Space news.
Space news.
I don't think they go below the 49th parallel too often. However, I think case file 2, we were getting reports that Ohio was getting them, and there was reports. So they do go fairly
Sometimes
low.
they bounce down
dip,
low.
but I think
That's a little low, yeah, I would think.
unless it's really powerful, I would say only our Canada listeners are going to be getting it, and anyone in the like northern above the 49th parallel, I would say.
We're talking Finland, Sweden kind of
Yeah,
style.
so
Europe.
all our big fans in Europe.
If I look at the stats, I think we've had five plays in Europe. So
Yeah, well,
congrats over there.
yeah, I love Finland and those European countries.
Yeah, they. Hopefully, we can get a few more listeners.
So we had to do the first edit ever on ATT.
I fucked up.
Mr. Conspiracy made a blunder, and there
Let's
was.
just say he said something that would make the CIA come looking for him. So
Yeah,
we
that's it.
had to pull him
I
out.
said
You know what?
something a
No,
little
you know
too
what
harsh.
happened? They blacked us out. That's what happened.
Yeah,
The power went out. We were saying stuff too controversial. They shut
Power
us
went
down.
out, yeah.
So
They had us tracked on
We're on-
satellites.
we're on
They
backup
shut down
generators.
the podcast.
yeah. So it's good to
I
pick it
actually
back
think
up.
that's them texting right now,
Yeah, they're saying
might be.
smarten the fuck up, Mr. Conspiracy.
directed directly at you.
Okay, so anyways,
done.
space news. If you're above the 49th parallel, I'm sure for the next couple days, you'll see some
Cool lights. in the
aurora
sky.
lights, aurora borealis.
Borealis, I think.
If you catch a picture of one, send it to us. Send it to us on Twitter at Truth Is Out There. We'd love to see them, or you can email us at meteorrecordings@gmail.com. Yeah, that's right.
Correct.
Oh, yeah,
And Truth is out there as THURR.
Double R. Yeah, that's right.
Also, I'd like to throw out there, Mr. Conspiracy is going to be coming to social networking in a few days.
No one cares.
Yeah, I don't even care. Let me tell you who's not going to follow you. Our podcast.
You're not getting followed.
I hope I get bigger than the podcast.
I hope you get no followers at all.
It's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So what do we got on the
Well,
dog?
it's-
Oh wait, I do have a
you got one thing?
yeah, I have a special holiday conspiracy I want to bust wide open real quick
right.
here. So we've all heard the stories of this so-called bearded man coming around giving gifts.
Who?
Whom do you speak of?
Who's
His
this guy?
name's Santa Claus.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Heard of this? Heard this one?
I've heard of that man.
Well, apparently,
Type of magician.
some sort of magician. Yeah, this guy Santa Claus flies around the world in one night, gives all the kids toys.
Not all the kids.
man,
Oh, no,
I
okay.
ain't got shit.
Yeah, man, I haven't got nothing from him for years, and I want to bust this wide open. My parents straight up told me that shit ain't real.
Really?
And yet, Mom still writes Santa on the presents.
Yeah, sometimes she does.
She does. She does. She sleeps.
Oh,
from
yeah,
time to
Mr.
time.
Conspiracy and
But I'm just cracking this wide open
Braden
right
are
now.
brothers. For
I
anyone
don't think
listening.
it's.
Was it? Was it time for that to come out? That we're brothers?
You just said it. You just said mum.
I'm a little embarrassed
So?
that just came out, but
All right. Well,
You're
Okay.
talking to each other and you said
So-
mum, so it's pretty
you know what?
obvious.
From the
that you-
pictures we're gonna post in a few days, you're gonna see the resemblance. So there's not
Yeah.
much hiding it.
couple of dummies.
couple of duds.
Anyways, so Merry Christmas. It's obviously Christmas coming up. When you're hearing this or listening, it's holiday season. We're probably going to shut down till we might have, we might have a surprise one up between Christmas and New Year's. We'll see.
Not much of a surprise anymore.
Well, I'm just saying it may or may not. So if it's up, it's a surprise.
Yeah.
But happy holidays to everyone. We've loved the fan feedback and stuff. So let's get right into it. What do you got for us, Mr. Conspiracy?
Power Hour. I can't wait.
All right.
Man, like before you start,
Yep.
I've been excited ever since the first one for you to come with this list that you have here
Oh, yeah.
and try and convince us of whatever theories you have. 'Cause
Yeah.
I got some
For
good ones
anyone
today,
listening,
man.
we don't know anything that's about to be talked about. We're just
Nothing.
going straight.
For anyone listening, I look at Google 2 hours before the show.
Way to spoil
No,
your
I'm kidding.
secret.
I'm kidding.
Just
But I
Kidding.
mean,
This guy knows everything about
am I
conspiracy.
Mr. Conspiracy for looking at Google? Fuck no.
No, you're Mr. Conspiracy for making it up.
Yeah,
that's the best part.
That's what's the conspiracy. Am I making it up?
Anyways, first on the list.
All right. So the number one topic today, we got the Black Knight satellite.
Black Knight satellite.
Ever heard of it? No.
Sounds cool.
Sounds
though.
familiar.
Yeah.
Fresh.
So what we got is well, actually, you know what? First off, as someone who's trying to convince you of something, I did fact check this online, and I found a few things that made me second guess it with just the number of years of how old they said it was.
Give us the story before you fucking tell us why you don't believe it.
So there's a satellite or something, a mysterious object floating above our the North Pole. That's where its orbits Earth, is at like the highest point. I found that they say it's 13,000 years old. Found some other numbers that kind of make me second guess it. But what it is, we got pictures and we got other stuff that shows that this is something irregular. Doesn't look like anything humankind has made, man-made, anything like that. It's out there orbiting Earth, and there's been word that Nikola Tesla was the first man to be in contact with this back in 1899 when he built his radio, and he was catching frequencies, catching signals from this Black Knight satellite. What do you think? I got more on this. I just want to. What do you guys think?
Before I say what I think, so it's a random piece of space debris.
It is
unidentified.
To me, what the pictures that I've seen, it looks like it's a dark mass, but it looks like almost a big cross. A little bit irregularly shaped, but like a big cross.
So it doesn't look natural.
No, it doesn't look like any satellite I've ever seen. And the fact that they say that this thing has been sending out radio signals, and Nikola Tesla is just the first one. There's been accounts all throughout the 19th century saying that people have caught weird radio signals from they don't know where. And reports are saying that it came from this satellite.
What kind of radio signals, though? Does it say that?
No. Weird. What I heard or what I read was weird noises, weird
like anomalies.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my question. So, is it still like other recent? Because my thing is like
the last sighting or picture that I read was, I think it was 2013. The picture of it.
Because my thing is I'm like, okay, that's, if there is something there, it's well within our grasps to get it.
To go and take a chunk.
Yeah, I don't think it would be there anymore because I think it would either be shot down or taken. I don't think.
Well, here's the thing though: is if it is a satellite, why shoot it down? You're going to lose any knowledgeable, you're going to lose information from it.
Yeah, but here's
also, why are we going to spend the money? Why would we spend the taxpayer money to put out that sort of effort to go retrieve a piece of junk that it might be? And like what I have read is that there are accounts that there was a lost heat blanket from one of the space shuttles that was launched into space. One of the heat blankets was lost into space. So there's accounts that it might be a space blanket. No. Pictures I've seen, and I've seen multiple, it's no space blanket.
I just think if it's unknown, if it gives out like any kind of radio frequency, like some nations would take offense to it for something, right? Because they'd be like, oh, they're spying on us or they're doing this. And
so yeah, what I got here is that the U.S. and the Soviet Union have shown particular interest in this unidentified space object. They were the first two nations that noticed it and really started researching it to find out what it was. And this is from the age that they say it is. They say it's been orbiting Earth for 13,000 years.
But how would they get that number? That's the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that.
That
was the one thing that I came across was the number of years.
Yeah.
They're all different. And so I can't really put, it could be a fucking warm space blanket.
Yeah.
The one that gets me, I think, for it is if it was found in 1957, we didn't possess the technology at the time to launch satellites into space.
Yeah.
Well,
which is kind of cool.
That's cool.
It was out there before we knew even how to get out.
I'd like to,
and the fact that it was noticed of sending radio signals well before that, 50 years before that.
So yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Another fact I got is the 1930s. is when astronomers worldwide have been reporting strange radio signals. When did radio come out?
Well before that. But
yeah, I was gonna. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, we've been getting weird signals for a long time now, before there's been any technology that we have now. Well before any of that. Thoughts?
Man,
I want to know more about it.
I do too. I want to dig into Tesla, because when you said Tesla, I love
Tesla.
I love
man.
Nikola
He's-
Tesla.
He's fucking
Guys,
wild.
A guy
We should have went
ahead
with
of his
him
age.
instead of
yeah.
Edison, I believe.
Well, Edison ran a marketing campaign, and Tesla ran just so,
Edison's
look what I
plan,
can do.
Edison's plan made money,
Yeah,
and Tesla's did not, and it was
Tesla's
scrapped,
was yeah. So that's the
pretty
thing.
much.
But like that, I would like to dig more into that and like his findings, because he was such a weird guy, like, and unique in so many different aspects of life. So
I believe that he was born hundreds of years before when he should have actually been born.
it's weird. We were talking about alien hybrids last podcast, and I would say Tesla's a good candidate if you're talking about alien hybrids who change shit. Like
Send down a scientist alien who fucking
that guy
tinks and tickers with all the fucking
he was
new
ahead of the
elements on
game
Earth.
on everything, man. Like he was a weird, eccentric guy. So that'd be cool. I'd like to dig
I've never
more
heard of
into
any conspiracy like that before. He was just a smart human being.
alien hybrid, man. All smart human beings. Look at us. None of us are. I can
that's
tell
true.
right now.
From the pictures we're about to post. I don't know.
Yeah, we're the three of us. Not a chance. Right now, if you're listening, trust me, we're not alien hybrids. We're just a couple of normal Joes here.
So as far as the black light or the Black Knight satellite goes,
I'm just gonna like.
it's not orbited anymore, as far as I can tell. What
Well,
happened
yeah.
to it?
Well, that's the thing, though. Is it's maybe we're not getting anything from it. There's no point in going to try and blow this thing out of the sky or go and visit it and see what it is. That would cost too much money.
To me, that just sounds like, to me, honestly, that one sounds to me like a lot of, like, I hate to say this because you made the point about making conspiracy into a derogatory term, and it does sound like one of those kind of half-cocked, someone made up. Like that one to me, like
It could be, but I mean, there's pictures. There's actually multiple pictures of this thing orbiting, and it looks like the same object.
It's definitely
every
got a
time.
lot of traction behind it.
There's
I'm not
something.
saying
There
it
is
doesn't.
something there. What it is, who knows?
then that so the it's because I guess if it's giving out radio signals,
Well, that's the thing. What the fuck?
Nothing gives out radio signals.
Nothing just naturally
artificial,
gives that out.
yeah.
that I know of. It could be wrong. There could be some organism that somehow gives off a radio signal.
Some old timey radio worms.
Just some
Does it
type of
sound
static.
like I'm on old time radio?
A little bit actually. That's pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, you do sound like you're on.
We could have done that post production, but we don't have to anymore.
Yeah,
Perfect.
but I'd like to dig more into that one. Like I'm gonna have to go sit and maybe see if I can find a documentary on that one or something. Black Knight.
Well, I mean,
Satellite.
there's
Okay, so let's. Is it an alien? Is it like an alien artifact? Then do they think, or is it from a time of a pre-existing
Ooh, we talked about
human
that,
advanced civilization having to do with either the pyramids or any type of old?
you might have just
Dude,
opened
yes,
up something.
blew my mind.
You might have just opened up a whole other can of worms on this subject, man.
Because if we don't know what it is or the structure of it or how it was made,
Well, that's the
it's
thing.
exactly the same as the pyramids and any other structure of that sort.
Yeah, and then that could be a lot like a lost relic from
Like
an ancient
another thing
civilization.
that civilization left behind to try and fill us in of what they were.
Yeah, we can't.
how they did things.
We don't know how to process it. Like we don't have the fuck. It's coded. However, we just won't understand it ever.
So yeah, another thing that I had thought of is like back in the day when all these guys were, they're starting to make radios and sending out signals. What if some of those get out into space?
Well, they've been pumping those into space.
Yeah, and they have been for well over 100 years now. And it was like, what if that was another, say, well back in the day, that was another civilization being like, hey, we're catching something. And they send out something to make the signal stronger. Catch it as it's coming off the planet and sending it back to them stronger. That's my little theory on it. If it's
here's the
sending it on,
problem.
it's obviously doing something, man. If
I have
it's
the
bouncing-
problem with anything to do with sending radio signals through space.
Yeah, it's
such a
time.
slow time, like a slow speed
Yeah, but how
in terms of space travel.
for the technology that we have compared to what
Just-
aliens might have.
Okay,
Who
I know.
knows?
I'll bite on that.
I'll bite on that too.
Maybe
actually.
they
I like
can.
it.
Maybe they can tune in, right? Maybe they have something like we have
Some type of
radio
worm-
Could be like a
antennas.
wormhole
baby.
traveling-
It could be like a
antenna.
baby monitor for them. You
Right.
hear a noise on the other end, and it comes out
Okay,
right
I'll
away.
bite on that. I'm
perfectly
going to
clear.
say in the realm of possibilities that if we were talking about the scale of civilizations a couple podcasts ago, and like, if it was high on the scale, maybe it can bend space and time, and it could pick up, radio frequencies. I'll bite on that. I'm going to say, yeah, okay, I'll that works for me. But the main problem that I have that I can't get over is with the time, the amount of time it would take to travel, because I don't even think.
Okay, I don't know a lot about the space time period of space, but I know that suns are like an average of like 3.2 parsecs. And a parsec, I can't remember what that is actually, but it's a distance of light speed. It's like 3.2 light years, I think, is a parsec or something like that.
I'll
Unit
go
of
with you on
measurement,
it.
yeah.
You took the course,
like that,
not me.
yeah.
So it just seems like it's just not enough. There's not enough time period for someone to put a radio signal in space to get any type of signal backwards. Unless there's some type of wormhole transmitter that can send a light signal through space at more than light speed.
Who knows, man? There could be.
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying like maybe there's a civilization out there that has such finely tuned antennas that they can, you know what I mean? Like whatever they're doing, they can listen to. They bend the folds of space time just for radio waves or something, right? Like,
Yeah, that would make sense that way. But the way we know of time and space, besides the theories, is there's no way to send a signal through space to get a response in a normal period of time.
Yeah, that's the one that's where I
Well, that's
get
the thing
hung
is
up.
like there's estimates. The lowest one that I saw, the lowest estimate was 13,000 years that it's been orbiting Earth.
Okay,
Once again, I don't know how they get that term, but I mean,
Like I know
the
that
highest one was 300,000 years.
I know they do carbon dating in atmosphere on our planet, and that has like scientific backing behind it. But in space, there's no real time. Like a rock could stay the same, or a metal could stay the same for millennia and never change. So how would you ever know?
And I'm not the biggest expert on carbon dating because I don't do it, but I always think that it's like, it's great that we can say that, but we don't have a benchmark. You know what I mean? Like if you say a bone is 10,000 years old that you find in the dirt, and you're like, yeah, okay, it's 10,000 years old because this is like, there's some layers of dirt on this and it takes this long. You have no idea.
Well, I don't think we do, but I think there is a benchmark, and that's how they've kind of figured that out.
Is that what it is? Like, is that 100% science? Because I always feel like it's a little bit
I
of
can't say it's
guesswork.
100%, but I know that's what when someone says they found a fossil at this time, it's from this long ago. The carbon dating.
Well, I'm sure
It's got to be our best guess,
Right.
Yeah.
our best estimate. Let's just say it's the best theory we have.
Yeah, the best guess. See, I'd much rather when people are like, "Oh, it's this old," according to our best guess,
Yeah.
because that's
Well,
all.
guess that-
Well, that's all
doesn't sound
science
right,
is.
though.
It's
Yeah.
really theories.
Yeah.
Our best sounding
Our
theory.
theory
our
is the
best
guess.
theory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't be proved or disproved. It's just
Yeah.
accepted almost.
Oh, excuse me.
Anyways, let's move on. What do you got?
All right, so I got a lot of topics tonight.
I enjoyed. I enjoyed.
I
the
like that
podcast.
one. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
It's
Yeah,
good.
I mean, I got some more stuff that I could talk about, but I would like to move on. There's a few other ones that I got here that, they're believable, but at the same time, they make me laugh while I read them and I think about them. Because it's just, so what the next one is I got the hologram plan.
What is that?
So what this is over the last few years now, we've been seeing all around the world, there's been a lot of mysterious blue lights that have formed weird shapes in our sky, and people are thinking it's UFOs. Oh, it's fucking meteorites. It's all that bullshit.
Can I, hold on, just stop you for 1 second. As soon as you said that, this is touching point. I can't remember who requested it last week. We had a Twitter request, and he wanted us to look at the missile that was shot over California.
Perfect.
And
This is touching it.
And it's a blue. It's a blue,
Blue light.
Yeah.
This is it. Yeah.
So let's hear what we get.
So,
Mr.
yeah, what it is-
Conspiracy.
and-
He's explaining. Forget what we said last week. Mr. Conspiracy's on it.
Busting it open.
So what I found and what kind of made me believe that this might even be a possibility is that it's an unknown group. There's no name. There's nothing. There's no information on whose plan this might be. But what it is they're trying to make a hologram in the sky of an alien invasion. And that's how they're going to take power of Earth. And these blue lights that you've been seeing that have been almost opening up into something that looks amazing and then closing back into just a stream of light and fading away. These are failed attempts at trying to get the hologram plan to work. And obviously they're still in startup mode, trying to get it off. But I mean, it's like these sightings are becoming more and more. People are seeing them all around the world.
Man, I'll give you this. I'll give you this on this one. We tackled one of these blue lights last week. It was said to be, can't remember the type.
Trident
of missile,
2.
Trident 2 missile. But we looked at Trident 2s and we didn't see anything that kind of made the same pattern and the blue lights.
Well, like the way that
It's a tough one for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. It's a tough one for me because just the way it was shot, the way the missile was shot, and the time frame and how it was launched, a lot of it related to what it was explained in the synopsis of what a missile would do.
Yeah.
Well, that's
It was just the color, and the only thing, because of the angle, and it was like it was kind of like a hazy night. A blue could easily, or a red could easily turn to a blue in clouds, like pretty easy.
Yeah,
And there was another video I watched of what they said it was like a fuel leak on a satellite, and it sent this blue twisting light. I watched that video actually not long after we did that podcast.
Okay, I've seen that video
And
as well. Yeah.
do I think it's hologram? Like I definitely think there's a group of people out there that, kind of work above the law and outside the law, according to governments.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Right. So like what they have planned, and I'm sure I always think there's plans in store for an eventual one world government and an eventual
New World Order.
an eventual like joining of currencies and stuff. We see that already with, the euro and stuff. It's easier to control people if you control all the money.
Yeah.
So,
man,
but we should get into that one another time because we could do a whole fucking show on that.
Oh yeah.
We'll do one on the New World Order. Let's do one.
We will do
would-
what I just got to touch on really quick that I think we're living in a really awesome time is where it's like a kind of a paradigm shift from mainstream media. There's so many alternate sources now that normal people like us are 100% question the mainstream and are just kind of like we're finding news on our own way. People on the same train of thought. Where before we've been called conspiracy theorists, and it was like a derogatory term I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
But now it's like gaining a lot more traction. There's a lot of like big websites and people that are giving it a lot of thought.
I believe that it's because religion nowadays doesn't have such
It's losing a hold for sure.
It doesn't have such a tight grip on as many people as it did. You got new people, younger generations like ours growing up and being like, you're telling me some dude made a woman out of the rib, out of his fucking rib cage? Huh? And then he banged her and started our entire universe? Like,
Yeah.
what?
The theories go deep.
They do.
Everyone who
That's
listens to this
just-
podcast knows that we are not a fan of the religion stories, as you would hear on Case File 3, Alien Jesus.
I think that's Case
Baby
File 4.
Jesus.
Case File 4, Alien
Oh,
Jesus.
Case File
Oh,
4.
that's too fucked up.
Everyone's fucking up.
Yep. Oh,
I
God.
wish I was here for Baby Jesus, man. That would've
So
been fun.
I'm going to go ahead and say I don't know about the hologram because I'm like, how hard is a fuck? I watched Tupac sing on stage 20 years after his death.
Did he actually die?
Well, like that.
Oh shit!
Like okay.
Case
Did he?
File 6. Where's Tupac?
You never know, man.
I remember in middle school. I remember we had to write speeches, right? You had to do a speech on a topic, and this one girl in one of the classes, she was like one of those like G girls, right? Like she was white. Like where we live, there's not too many people other than white people.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
We're in a cold part of Canada.
I had one.
Yeah, no
there
one
was-
wants to come here.
There was
wants to
one
come
black kid in our school, and she did this long speech about how Tupac wasn't dead, and that she kept reciting. There's 7 years from now, he's coming back, and all this. And then I saw her a long time later, and I was like, "So did Tupac? You ever hear of anything about that Tupac stuff coming up?" And she was horrified that I remembered and brought it up. It was pretty funny, and she's got her shit together now. I'm not gonna drop her name, but she was.
No,
don't
names,
need to
no
hear it.
names
It was
needed.
pretty funny. So, Mr. Conspiracy, what else you got for us?
Okay, one that I'm sure I know it rocked the planet at the time. I was overseas, you were overseas, and you were overseas.
Oh my God! Are you about to say what I think you're going to say?
Malaysia Air Flight MH370. What the fuck happened to that airplane, man?
You know what? That's an episode on its own.
Yeah,
That
pretty
is,
much.
and
But
I know it
Let's
is.
touch on it for a bit.
let's-
We got to touch on it because that blew my mind, man. I was about to board a plane. News came on. Oh yeah, we're missing a fucking flight with like 400 people on.
Okay, for anyone who wants to know, we
Yeah.
were all just by chance all traveling at the same time in Thailand, and we all met on this island called Koh Tao, and this happened. And this is kind of where my interest in conspiracy started. We had a few drinks, a few Chang beers, and we went to this place and we called it Conspiracy Rock. For whatever reason, we just started talking about like 9/11 and all these conspiracies and this Malaysian airline flight. And I am still boggled of what happened there.
You know what? There's been in the news like, oh, we got pings from some black box off the coast of Australia, fucking at the bottom of the ocean. But as soon as we got him, we lost him.
Okay,
That could be it.
just give us a quick synopsis of what happened for people who don't really know.
Okay, so what happened is apparently a flight took off from Malaysia. I can't quite remember where it was going, but it
It
was
was going like
lost.
Hong Kong or something.
Yeah, it was going somewhere crazy, and it was lost over a massive body of water. But it's weird that
Turned back.
No,
at
it
one
went.
point.
It was on the way, and it did a
Yeah,
100% like 180 degree turn and turned back through like a radio blackout zone. They said and disappeared and was never seen again.
so like it had like weird flight patterns that they said that there are places in that area that only the expert pilots know to get out of the radio frequency, that you can't be picked up on any sort of scans, and that's where this plane went.
Okay.
It seems like just a absolute crazy idea that the plane disappeared.
Well, and that's the thing, is there's been speculation on it crashed, it sunk to the bottom of the ocean, someone stole it, it landed on a fucking uncharted island in Southeast Asia, it fucking was picked up by a UFO. There's so many different theories on this. That
I've
it
heard the
blows my
Russians took
mind.
it and flew it to Kazakhstan, parked it in a hangar there. But why?
But why?
Who was on the plane?
You got this many people though.
Who was on the plane, man? Who was on the plane?
It would only take one person
Yeah.
of interest to be on a plane to be like fucking take everybody out. There wasn't that many people on the plane. If you really think
We should
about
dig
it.
into the passenger list.
Well, I know there's a few people from Canada.
Okay, well, I got a couple. I'll throw in random stats as you guys keep talking about. 239 passengers and crew.
There you go. Okay, so I know there's a few people from Canada. What weirds me out is obviously it was such a well done job because there was nothing. There was no phone calls. There was no posts on anything about this happening. So either everybody got so scared and everything got taken from them right away, or they had no idea what was going on.
Okay, I got 3 points. Like I honestly think this is one of the strangest things to happen. But I have
I do
3
as well.
points that I've looked up in the past now that I'm going to bring up. One is that in turbulence, I've been in some bad turbulence. You've been on planes with me with bad
Yeah,
turbulence.
I've been in some bad turbulence.
Did you grab for your phone?
No, fuck no.
Exactly, right? So if you were going to go down, the last thing you're going to do in high turbulence is grab your phone. It's
But
just natural.
you gotta
You
think,
just-
we're not a 14-year-old high school girl.
yeah, but I just clenched my butt cheeks.
Well, there's no
and that's
service
it.
on most flights.
Yeah.
like 99% of flights, especially over the ocean. There's no cell phone service.
So,
but in the area that it
here's
was
the
flying,
other thing.
you think there might...
I doubt it. They're
No,
too
no.
high up.
I gotta admit, man, where it went down, Southeast Asia, it has some of the best phone reception, internet, everything. It was the best I've ever
Look,
had.
yeah, because in those
Southeast Asia.
areas they don't do old school
No, it's-
infrastructure. They
it's
do
in-
cell phone towers.
In Thailand, because it's cheaper to have everyone phones and do like run landlines and stuff. There's companies, one in particular, AIS, who does a national Wi-Fi plan, and they broadcast Wi-Fi everywhere, even out onto the ocean for the fishermen. So there's Wi-Fi everywhere surrounding Thailand and in the oceans for the fishermen. So if that plane flew low, chances are it would hit a Wi-Fi zone in Thailand where
get
anyone
pinged by something.
Get
it would get
something.
pinged by something. Here's my second point. If the plane did crash, when it's so deep, the black box only pings so far that you have to be within a kilometer range to get that ping. And the ocean is such a big place.
You could go down, 30, 40
If you could-
kilometers in some areas?
Well, I
More
don't
than
know
that?
about- I don't know. I don't know the stats on the depth, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I think the
You can go
Marianas
deep.
Trench is the deepest part that we've found, and it's 30,000 meters or something.
Yeah, okay, that's
Well,
fucking
that's
crazy.
far, right? Like, that's far.
But that's the thing. Like, if it went down in a deep spot and a boat's on top, if it's 2K, the boat's not gonna. The black box won't ping for the boat. It's gonna have to ping from a submarine. Now, here's the third thing. I'm gonna say this, and you guys are gonna know who I'm talking about, but I don't want you to say the name because I don't know if he would get upset or get in trouble. So I don't want to name drop him. I have a friend in the Navy, and he said on his ships that were stationed in that area, there was a place on that ship where at any moment in time you could see every single object in the sky and where it was going. And he said if that plane went anywhere, the United States knows where it is, but they won't tell anyone because they don't want anyone else to know they have those capabilities.
Well, that a lot of people know that. I think that military satellites know everything. And
Yeah.
They do.
They-
And they're watching us in our homes. A lot of people don't realize that.
Well,
in those
I don't-
PVR boxes.
I don't want to say
have,
they're watching us in our homes.
Hey, there are videos on YouTube of people pulling apart their DVRs at their house because they've heard, oh yeah, there's a little camera and a little microphone inside.
Well, it's more your computers, I think, than your
In
digital
your
box.
DVR box that controls your TV that you pause and fucking record live TV, there is a small camera and a little microphone just behind the front casing of it.
Now,
Guaranteed, watch the videos of people. There are countless.
I
of
don't
people
want to say
pulling these
guaranteed
apart.
because
I can't say guaranteed.
my
I'm
thing
going to
is,
say it because I'm Mr. Conspiracy.
well, you have
can
all
do
the
it.
right.
You have all
But
the
here's my thing. You know, and I'm sure if you watch these YouTube videos, if you're pulling apart your PVR and DVRs to get to these so-called cameras and microphones, you're pretty much wrecking the device. So I'm going to say, is there a video out there that someone posts is like, you know what, I want to
Well,
fuck with some people.
I have to admit, though, the videos that I've
Exactly,
watched,
yeah.
and it's more than 2 or 3, it's always just the front like casing of it, where you would slide a DVD or press the buttons or something like that. You pull that off, and you can see it.
Yeah, like it. Okay, let's say they have that. There's so many millions of people. They can't have that many people watching you.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta
let's
think, you
say
get
you're
one
a
person
let's say you're a
watching.
person interest. They could probably find you in some way through your phone, computer, whatever it is, TV. They could.
Man, so it's funny you say that there's too many people to watch, right? Now, here's my point for I could believe in that. There's way too many people to watch to have like a manual process of watching. But what if the fucking US has created some sort of tethered AI?
Tethered AI?
Yeah, like they control it, right? It's not untethered, it's not thinking on its own, but it's doing what they want.
See what I thought about that is that they put people on watch lists. So I mean,
Yeah.
if you know someone has that, you can track them. Okay, they bought a DVR today. They bought some sort of device that we are able to watch them with now. Those are the people that they'd be watching.
Yeah. But, you know, if
I think the
But I think
portion of
everybody
people would be
has one.
really, really, really small. Even if they had a tethered AI, like you say, who are they watching? They
I
don't
think
just
that
watch.
There's too many.
yeah,
There's
but
too many
the
good people.
AI
compared to that.
AI could watch everyone and keyword everything you said or did, right?
I don't think they could watch everyone though. But know what I think they could do is they could filter, and if they would put certain phrases or keywords or whatever, and if you said
Something
or
along the lines.
did anything along the lines of that, then that would be flagged, and then they would be
Xbox
watching.
on.
Xbox pizza.
Yeah,
That'll be the day.
Like those two examples right there.
yeah, that's probably what they're watching. Me swear at my video games. Okay, so cameras in the PVRs, Big Brother's watching.
he's always watching.
We gotta do another one on just.
Like I said,
Should we go-
most of the topics I got tonight are shows themselves. They're nights themselves.
I
actually
like
getting
where we're
in
going. I
depth.
like this to touching them on a little bit.
And
It's
that's
the-
what it is. And from the listeners who are listening, send us some feedback. Tell us what you guys want to hear us get into depth about.
Yeah, we can go in depth. No
and
problem.
we will.
This is the Mr. Conspiracy Power Hour.
He's crushing them out.
We're crushing beers, crushing conspiracies.
Mr. Conspiracy is crushing beers. That's
Okay, well, let's move. Let's go to the next one. What do you got?
Okay, the next one I got is the United States Hidden Space Fleet.
Not the first time I've heard this.
And it's not the first time that I've heard of it. Right, I've been hearing about this actually for a number of years. I don't really know what to touch on because it's a hidden space fleet. You can't see it. You can't see it. You don't know it's fucking there. How do we know it's there?
I love it.
Right?
Oh, that's the best one. All right, done. Next.
Yeah. Apparently, the United States has a hidden space fleet, though, whether it be in the sky, on Earth somewhere, ready to take off. I don't know.
Well, we can get in depth in that, no problem, because
Well, I mean, we got Area 51. How
Project Blue Book, right? Project Blue Book has a section where it's extra, or is it
Non-terrestrial officers.
Yeah, non-terrestrial officers listed, right? And so
What?
that would make
What?
you just
Mr.
got-
Conspiracy
You just
said
got mind
what?
blowing.
okay. So
Operation. Oh my god.
I mean,
Zelly,
I've heard
give him
that
a
there's
give him a quick
obviously
summary here.
aliens in
Blows my
the
mind.
government.
I can't
That's
summarize. I can't summarize that one.
No, we're gonna have to do a whole episode on the Blue Book.
Well, I know what the Blue Book is, but I didn't. Maybe I was too stoned
the Blue
and
Book
overlooked
project is huge, and a lot of it I'm not sold on sometimes, but a lot of it I am in some way. And when it says non-terrestrial officers, and there's a list of what organizations and positions they hold, that blows my mind.
Yeah,
Well, that's
And it's not, and
there's,
that's not. It's
It's
not
a-
just speculation because there is.
it's a government document.
Hey, there's
Government document,
a
and
bunch
we
of
found-
different.
I think we touched on the first one is it's called the Disclosure Project, and it's like all these high-ranking government, military, private sector people coming forth with their experiences of UFOs, and people touch on that. There's like hours and hours of footage, and it's been condensed. If you go on YouTube and search it, there's a whole bunch of different condensed versions, but there's like 30 hours of these people just giving up each 10 or 15 minute explanations of this kind of stuff, and it's just crazy.
Holy shit! That
Yes.
blows my mind.
Look it up, Project Blue Book. We're gonna do a podcast just strictly on that one.
Yeah, we're only on episode
sure.
5, so
We got
we got lots of material
We
left
got
to get
lots
to
of material to
it.
get
And that's
to.
going to be a big one.
Okay,
Anyways, let's go again.
so I got another topic here. I can't remember what year it was. You can look it up on
I
Google.
love it. I love it.
General MacArthur's famous speech that he gave, though. And in his speech, he tells the entire world, we are at war with aliens.
Okay, well,
This is a high-ranking officer. This is someone that doesn't fuck
is
around.
this U.S.?
I believe General MacArthur was U.S.
I'm fact checking right
I
now.
believe this is just one of my, minor topics.
Miss
but-
conspiracies, crazy conspiracy.
You can listen to it. You can read about it. He has a speech where he says the planet, not just the United States.
He didn't
Canada,
mean illegal aliens. He
That's-
wasn't those Mexicans.
That's why it's a conspiracy. But we're at war with aliens. Well, but the thing is he says the planet is at war with aliens. Earth is at war with aliens. That's not illegal aliens because
Yeah, that's weird.
we're all
one.
fucking planet Earth.
Zelly, you just perked up a little bit there.
We got some
I'm
facts.
not perking up because he definitely is General Douglas MacArthur, and he definitely served in the American Army. But to find the right information is not going to happen right now. So
Not
keep
gonna
going.
happen?
So yeah, so what I had found when I had spent actually a little time researching one of his speeches that he gave, that was, people listened to, people respected this man. He just finally came out and said, "Hey, yeah, we're at war with aliens."
It was the Canadian defense minister came out, and he was a well-respected guy, and he just came out and was like, straight up, there's aliens. He was the friggin'
He's the guy who said straight up there's aliens. Straight up, the United States has a military fleet in space.
yeah.
The alien, like the ETs who have been here, have told us not to militarize space. That's part of like the Universal Galactic Pact of not to don't do that. And like we're doing that at the moment. That's what that conspiracy says.
Yeah. And he was the
Leave it to
defense
humans.
minister, so it's
And
like
that's not a light title. And maybe in his later years he went a little bonkers, but
Donald Trump's going to be the one that gets voted in and fucks over our, universal.
that guy, you know what?
fucking-
He won't get voted in because people aren't that dumb.
no.
I think he's an alien himself.
Yeah,
Well, there's, you know
looks
what,
like
that
it.
would make more sense maybe, but
Have you heard some of the shit that he says, man?
he's a master manipulator of the
Money.
public,
Yeah.
especially about,
You know what
Yeah.
though? The only thing that I don't believe he'll get in, like you said, I think people are too smart.
it's early in election.
Talking about Americans here.
And it's the media loves to hype this shit, man. This is a media circus. They
Yeah,
love
you know
this.
Like the United States media on their politics is absolutely nuts.
It's insane.
The election isn't for like just under a year now, but it started like over
Okay.
like a year and a half in advance.
For all our American listeners, we just had the longest Canadian election campaign in
Just
history.
3 months.
It was 77 days. Because it's illegal to campaign outside of those, like when an election's called. And you guys do it year round, all round. It's fucking insane.
And you vote for the president. You
It's a
don't vote for the
popularity
party.
vote,
Yeah.
is what
It's
it
weird.
is
So
in the
a quick
States.
rundown for the States. We don't ever vote our prime minister, which is our essentially our president kind of thing.
Same thing.
We vote for individual ridings. So like in our riding, we had 4 choices. You could vote the Green Party, the Conservative Party, Liberals, or NDP. And now whichever one of those 4 got the most seats in all the ridings in Canada, whoever was the head of their party becomes our prime minister. Where like, so you have
Yeah, there's no
numerous votes.
popularity.
There's-
Well, there is a little bit, but
Yeah.
not on the near scale like that.
Yeah, not like it is.
You don't just
in
go to the
States.
ball and chuck in for Bernie Sanders or Donald Trump.
Oh
and
my
call it a
God,
day.
Our first black president, I guarantee that's what won the vote, just because so many people were like, oh my God. Yeah, he could be our first.
I think
Let's
if
change history.
it's going to be, if it comes down to Trump, it's going to be Hillary. She's going to win.
I think she's not. I don't think she's in the running. I think she's out.
I don't
I
follow it that much,
think
so.
the last I read, not that I read, she was polling ahead of Bernie again because everyone was criticizing Bernie lots.
Yeah, I can't say I'm an expert on American politics, but
I read up every now and then, kind of curious. It's such a circus.
it's curious because it shapes the whole world.
Yeah,
It
in a
really
way.
does. The
and it's
Americans
like
States, they
watching
do.
a train wreck at times where you're just like
It
you
is.
can't avert your eyes.
I remember being so young and watching like President Bush go in and all this shit happen, and then he goes in again,
Strategic.
love a taco today for lunch.
and just like to watch someone, you can tell when someone's intelligent the way they speak. Even if they're reading a script, they can just tell. You can just tell when
Yeah.
someone's smart. And when watching that, even like now when I'm 27 now, and he's been out of office for 8 years or whatever, I look back at some of the speeches sometimes I'm like, really?
Man
He was
should have been a
like the
comedian.
world leader, like leader of the free world, they say, or whatever.
Yeah.
You see that video where he dodges the shoe?
No, but good for him.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. He does it real good. Real good.
There's a great thing on because I guess Jeb Bush is running right now, and he changed his campaign to Jeb with an exclamation mark. Like it used to just be Jeb Bush, now it's Jeb with an exclamation mark. And I think it was SNL. Someone said it doesn't change anything because if you say broccoli, it doesn't make me like it anymore.
You know that was George Bush being like, this is what you got to do.
Yeah, what you gotta do? Exclamation mark. That's what you need. A little bit
It's
on
either
it.
George Bush or
It's di-
George Costanza.
I don't know.
One
It's
of the
different in
two.
the States because the States is way more, I think, in my opinion, way more manipulated by the media.
Oh, 100%, man.
God, yeah.
In Canada, people say the media sucks here because it's boring, because it just gives, they don't make news really.
No,
they just
we-
kind of
we
tell you
Tells you
whatever.
what happened.
We don't have 24-hour cycle news. We don't. We have like local riding news that comes on at 5. You get it in the morning from 5 to 7, and at night from 6
Certain
to
time.
7.
No, it's because we get all the channels here. We got Fox, we get ABC, we get NBC, we got all these big corporate Republic news channels up here, and they are always just it's crazy how much they preach just terror and hate. There's no real compassionate news stories that I really hear on a national scale.
It's like this is coming from 3 Canadians. So if you're living in the States and you're like, oh, I don't notice that, it's bad. Like,
It's
come
different.
to Canada,
It's a
watch
lot
our
different.
Canadian news. It's
From what
like,
we
it's-
get compared to what they get, oh, man.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's crazy. How
You
much
guys down there
fear-mongering
get
is
an
going
inch
on.
of snow and call it snow day? Because, oh, my God, the media blows it out. There's people in the
Well,
ditch.
that's
people
not
are
really what
dying.
I'm talking about.
But
Yeah.
I'm just saying the way that they blow it all out of proportion.
It's way more. It's like news people are more celebrities in the States. Like news is big.
Yeah.
News is mainstream. News is big. There's
So
stories.
Ron
Everyone
Burgundy
knows.
was right on the money with just being popularity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
In the States, it is, man.
As soon
Like,
as you lose it, you're nothing, right? Like,
well, you get these huge anchors that like they just like that's the guy who reads the news, and if he gets canned, like
Well, it's become. I can't remember. Okay, I can't remember who said it, unfortunately, but it's a famous quote. It says, "If you tell a big enough lie many times, eventually it becomes truth." And that's kind of like how I feel American broadcasting is. They get a story, and all the networks that supposedly the conspiracy is controlled by CIA and like high-end government, they pump a story, and it's a false story, and at first it seems ridiculous, but the more you pump it, the more people believe, and eventually the story becomes truth, and then the truth takes hold, and anyone who goes against that story is called a conspiracy theorist, and it's like a derogatory, like, oh, you're crazy, you're a lunatic, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know the facts, anything like that.
Yeah.
well, the thing is, how many people out there nowadays you can watch it on Facebook daily? People pumping out truths that they swear to God are real, and you read them sometimes and you're like, "Are you a fucking idiot?"
man, it's crazy too because you think about it like we're in such a we're such a fast paced like environment now in like the world we live in. So it's like as soon as one of those news places starts to report something, the others just jump on it because you can't be the last one to the news, right? So it's just like report it without fact checking, whatever. Just get it out there. We can't be behind on this, right? So it just kind of snowballs like that. It's crazy, and I think it is.
Rumor turns to truth. Truth becomes reality.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that's some. We got a little segue. I like that little segue.
That was a
though.
good segue.
You know what we should do one? Oh, we should do one. Let's do one on mainstream media.
Mainstream media.
Oh, my God.
fucked. We could talk about
That'd be a
that
good
for
one. That'd be a good
hours,
one. We
man.
should do
it's
that.
mainstream media in the U.S. for the most part.
Yeah.
The U.S. is the worst for sure.
I like when I switch my my feed on my Netflix to like UK and stuff and watch stuff there. It's different.
Yeah.
The story is not the same. The global news stories are not the same from Canada. Like Canada and Britain are the same kind of, and then the U.S.
You said Netflix, and I was like, wait, you mean movies?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Netflix. I'm just saying, like, I have.
Yeah.
I changed my IP address so I can go all the local websites of different
Yeah.
places, and the stories are the same for the most part. But you can go click on the states, especially on like the big Republican ones like Fox and stuff. The story is always different.
Yeah. Shootings, stabbings.
Oh man, the shootings don't even get me
You know
started.
what? Holster your guns, guys. There's
Take
no
them out
need.
in the bush and have some fun.
That's a touchy
Shout out to those
subject
ISIS
for.
pricks.
Well,
That's a touchy subject for Americans because
you know what?
you need gun control. We have it in Canada. It's fine. I have guns. Everyone in this room that you're talking, we all have guns.
multiple
I think it
guns.
goes deeper than gun control. I think now, because it's happened so many times, it's just inherent. Like people, that's just what happens all the time.
like
There's been,
it's
I've seen like
copycat
a
at
crazy
this point.
stat. Like in the last 6 years, there's been 1,000 mass shootings, meaning like more than one victim in a public place in the U.S. That's more than Canada, Great Britain, Australia, France, Germany, Sweden, like all the other NATO nations all combined. The same population, all these other nations combined is the same as the United States. Yet theirs is so much higher, like their murder count. It's crazy.
It's giving people freedom. I find, it's hard to say. You give people freedom. Hey, go off, do your own fucking thing. Don't follow anything. Here's a religion you could follow. Don't if you don't want to. Do it. If not,
I feel like
people go insane, man.
I feel like if you go back in history, because the states have been around. When did they sign their amendments?
1776. I don't know if that's the right.
I think it was
It's-
September 1st. September.
Well,
1776,
I don't know.
actually.
I don't know, and I know the people.
I believe that's.
I bet you the Americans that listen to this will agree with us on some point that it never used to be like people always used to be in the state. They always had guns. There was never mass shootings.
Yeah.
And then 20, 25 years ago, it started, and then it like snowballed, and now it's just like a crazy. It's like a monthly thing or more.
Yeah. It seems like there's always a new story, some sort of shooting until the next one, and then it's now.
And I know Obama. He's had speeches like we've become numb. We've become numb to like the realization that shootings happen on like they're numb to it. Like they're numb to the news.
Read it on the news.
A shooting happens
yeah.
like San Bernardino or in San
just a
Francisco.
new
Blah blah
town.
blah. It's
That's
another
it.
few people dead. He may have a connection to ISIS. Next story. Next week, another shooting in a different place. It's like a crazy.
Yeah.
We had one guy come into our like equivalent of the White House he shot one guy and killed one guy. It was huge.
It was like the
massive.
biggest
Massive.
thing. Yeah, it was
He
probably
had
one
like a
of the biggest.
3-day ceremony for his funeral or
He
something
had
like
the
that.
full-on military salute, the gun shooting, the
Everything.
Not the
march.
guy who shot the guy. The guy
The
who
guy
shot.
who-
Yeah.
The guy who was
The
killed.
guy
He
who
had,
was
he had the
shot.
military service. Yeah.
And you can the guy who shot the shooter was a straight up G. This old like security guy working for the government did some James Bond shit, jumped around to call him and like jumped back and shot the guy. It was crazy. You watch a news story online if you're interested in it. It's pretty cool. I wish I had the guy's name on tap. I didn't know we were going to talk
Yeah,
about him.
that kind of segued there too. Let's just say I'm not criticizing Americans at all because I think it stems from the government and most Americans are normal. I bet you
Old
more
country buffet. I love the Americans for that.
most Americans are probably just normal people.
Yeah, just
And
like
there's
us,
just
man.
like there's a small percentage, and unfortunately, it's a small
Just like
percentage.
everybody
and,
around the world.
and the government kind of stems from that small percentage, and it's just kind of like snowballing and just
Yeah.
keeps giving them a bad name. Because I know when we went traveling, the first time we went to Thailand, if we didn't have we put a Canadian flag on our backpack, and people would always ask, "Are you American?"
Yeah, all the time.
And they were like worried that you were at first.
Yeah.
And not because I met a lot of American people traveling, and they were all as normal people I could easily get along with.
No,
It's
I
like
met a lot
not
of
all.
Americans.
I met a lot
I
of-
couldn't stand.
Well, I met a lot of Canadians I couldn't stand too. So
yeah.
Yeah, so did I.
I know a lot of people in this town.
I met a
can't
lot
stand.
of people that I couldn't stand.
I think there's just shitty people everywhere, really.
Yeah.
But
But there is a kind of like this weird.
it's a different vibe.
It's a different vibe, and I don't know why that is. I think it is the media
I think it definitely stems to the media. They get so much coverage that maybe
around the globe. I think because everywhere you can find a Fox News covering states.
Pretty much
news,
everywhere, man.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
yeah,
So
Fox is global.
Everywhere
Yeah.
that I've found, that I've gone traveling, I found it. You can listen to it, watch it anywhere.
It's this air of like, yeah, they are worried. They don't want to. You're going to be an ass, or you're. It's weird. It's definitely weird. That's a weird thing. I never thought of it like that before, but it definitely was a weird vibe. Even when I have like traveling with, like when I lived in Thailand, I had an American friend that I traveled with, and people would be like, "Oh, you travel with American?" He's like, "Oh yeah,
It's just
he's my friend. He's my neighbor."
like the global population has like a negative stigma about Americans, even though it's probably not deserved.
It's not all of them. It's the same way that Americans look at Muslims. You think that one dude
No,
in a
I-
turban, you think a lot of Americans would be like, "Oh, he's a terrorist." It's not how it is.
but I don't
just
think
'cause-
that-
It
I
all,
don't think
it all
that's-
stems from
what I'm
it
thinking
all
is
stems
that
from the
that's
media.
media.
news,
Yeah,
the
that's
news
media.
pumps. Yeah, the news pumps a lot of these pictures of people who were killing other people, and they show the one picture of this person, this type of person, and so you see, a dude in a turban, you think, oh yeah, okay, he's from
But
the East,
like,
he's gonna
yeah,
fuck people up.
yeah.
I don't think.
Same
I don't
thing.
think.
If you were to
I don't
put
think
a
Americans
fucking-
think that. I don't think the majority of Americans think that. I think, like he was saying, I think it's a small portion, and the media feeds into that small portion of Americans.
I think that small
Yeah.
portion
You know what?
is
Here's
a
the
lot
thing.
bigger than you guys
Here's-
actually think it is.
I don't think it is. And here's the
I
thing:
think it
when
is.
there's protest rallies of stuff about something stupid, right? Like people are against gay marriage. Everyone who hates gay marriage shows up. If there was a rally to support gay marriage, I'm not going because I don't care either way. Like I think they should be able to get married. I don't care, but I don't go. You know what I mean? I don't
It's gonna
go,
be the
and that's the
gays
problem.
that
And
Yeah,
that's-
you don't go
show
to
up
voice your
to
opinion
support
because
it
you don't.
anyways.
You're
because I'm like, yeah, they should.
Yeah.
I don't care because I'm not passionate about it, and they're fueling into the people that are really passionate in a negative
okay,
way. They
here's the
come to
thing.
these things. They
In the
focus
States,
all their fucking hate on
How
that.
many videos and pictures have you seen of people still to this day out on the street with fucking Ku Klux Klan?
That's what I mean.
Outfits, signs,
But
everything.
that's
a- buddy, that-
they still believe.
That is-
They
I know.
don't fuck it. You couldn't tell them anything. You could sit here and feed them hard facts. Show them the proof. You could literally have the alien walk in the room and talk to the person, and they won't believe it. They're still gonna go with what their mom and pa taught them.
No,
You get people like that
I am
all
just
over
saying
the world.
that
not
propaganda,
just the States, but yeah.
propaganda in this United States is rampant to a point not seen since like the Nazi Party. And I gotta say, it's not on the same scale like they're going to kill a bunch of Jews.
Now,
and do all
we're
that
not
stuff.
saying it's the next Nazi party. We're
No,
saying
not at
there's parallels into the propaganda campaign.
Just 'cause-
Nothing to do with the policies or anything.
No. I'm just saying.
I understand what
the
you're saying.
The Nazi Party said that's where I got that quote from. Is the bigger lie you tell, the more people you tell it to, and the more times you tell it, the more real it becomes. And I think that ever since World War II, that has been like the constant pressure of the media on the public to put that onto you. And now so many people that have grown up, like their grandparents grew up with it, their dad grew up with it, and now they've grown up with it. And that's just become fact for a lot of people.
You know what's weird to think though is like that could even start thousands of years ago with some of the most famous people that we know that have changed our planet. Looking back on Nikola Tesla and Edison again, let's just say that, you know, Nikola Tesla was ahead of Edison. He had the better idea. Let's say he died first. What is Edison going to say for the rest of his life? I had the better idea. He was a fucking crackpot fool. Take a look.
Well,
here it is, right?
Yeah.
He was lunatic. All the people that were born at that time are going to be like, okay, Edison's right.
There's
The
another
people
quote
slowly
that says
die out.
something about that. He who's in power controls history.
Yeah.
It's so true.
happened. Well, actually, yeah.
You know what? Okay, this has been an awesome podcast. I loved it.
Today was been
Let's
a
just
great
say,
night.
because we're at the end here.
Getting
Let's
close.
just say
I got one more topic I want to talk on.
we're not going to get it. Put on pause. Let's just say that throughout history, whether you're talking about the Bible, like our modern government, the biggest lie that's told the most times has become history, and that's just pretty much how it is. And now, like we're at the point now where we have the technology, information to kind of sift through and really find the truth, or at least our version of the truth, maybe a better version.
Yeah, you know, it's, I got to say it in the words of Dr. Ian Malcolm, life will find a way. Did it fit?
No, I've been waiting for it.
Were you?
I was wondering if it was going to
It's in
come.
the back of my mind. I've said that on every single one.
No, I looked at it a couple
Okay.
times. Like he's going to say.
So
it.
are we
He's gonna say it right
going
here.
to wrap this up soon then? Is that what's going
Well,
on?
we called it Power Hour. We're at an hour.
Right. Okay, last touching subject that we can touch on next time, an exchange program for astronauts that happened from grateful aliens that were saved in Roswell, New Mexico.
Well, that is a conspiracy. I'd love
That
to
is a
hear.
conspiracy because I have numbers, I have names, and I have accounts, all this sort of shit to back this up.
You know what? The
But
more,
I even don't even.
the
I
more we
don't
talk
even
about
know,
shit,
right?
the more shit I want to talk about.
It is. We could.
No.
I love it.
We could snowball this one into.
We could sit here fucking for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. We could.
No, I think we got to curb them and try to keep it an hour. I think an hour is an easy listening time.
Hour, man. That's
You know
what
what?
it was
Here's the
tonight.
thing. If you like our podcast, you want us to go longer, because on most of them, to be honest, we probably could.
Fuck yeah.
We probably could
I still
go.
got like 9 beers sitting in my case.
Yeah, we.
By the end of it, you might not understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing. You know what? It's probably best that we curb it.
I think 1 hour, a couple beers is fine.
Couple beers. Any news? Any news before we shut her down? This podcast is sponsored by Meteor-Recordings.com. Little small room, big sound. You check it out at Meteor-Recording.com. You can check our links from there at our page and stuff. Check us out on Twitter at Truth Is Out There. There is THURR. If you like our podcast, give us a shout. Let us know. Give us a rating on iTunes. We love feedback. We love hearing from
Absolutely.
fans. If you got a request, send it to us. We will talk about it. We're a small podcast. We like to be intimate with our fans. Very intimate. Very intimate.
More than you'd like.
And so, send us your request.
Marbles.
And that's the third fuck up of the day.
Well, I pretty much have marbles in my mouth the whole night. So
You know what?
What kind of balls? Bar balls?
marbles.
Marball.
Mars balls.
Oh,
Conspiracy in itself there.
You said Mars, and I wasn't gonna say anything, but
Oh,
I love how
Okay,
this is
we got to bring it back in.
snowball
real
effect.
quick, we're gonna touch on it real quick.
Yeah, no, this is big.
The Mars rover had found evidence of methane gas on Mars, and there's only
yes,
and scientists say there's only 2 explanations for methane gas. One is volcanic activity, which Mars is a dead planet for volcanic activity for like
That we know
millions
of, right?
that we know of for millions of years.
Yeah.
And the second is microorganisms, life on a different planet.
Well, we just found those rivers and shit that are.
We're not allowed to scoop water. International treaty.
What
Well,
international fucking? It's another planet.
Okay,
1967.
Oh, fuck that.
Cut it out.
Fuck that.
Cut it out. Let's just say Go on Google, search
Methane on
on Mars.
Fuck it, send me to Mars and I'll swim naked in that shit. I'll bring you back your goddamn.
It's minus 50 all the time. You're gonna die, but whatever.
I'd do it.
So methane on Mars. Something's farting.
Something's farting.
Something's farting.
And there's no
Shit.
cows.
Yeah.
There's no cows.
There is
conspiracy.
no underground cows on Mars.
That was a conspiracy. It started before the podcast.
Yeah, Mr.
Which
Conspiracy was all about
we shouldn't even
Underground
mention
cows on
in
Mars.
the least.
mole cows.
I gotta admit, one of my best.
Oh my god.
Okay, so again, thanks for listening. I'm Braden.
I'm Zell.
And I am Mr. Conspiracy.
Keep those eyes on the skies.
Baseball fans, BetMGM is giving you the chance to win a prize every day during the baseball season. Step into the batter's box for BetMGM Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Pick any area of the strike zone and take your best swing. If you get a single, double, triple, or home run, you'll receive a prize. Smash a home run to collect a bonus bet on us. Just log into your BetMGM Sports account to get started. Then visit your promotion section to access the Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. You'll score a prize if you hit a single, double, triple, or home run. There's nothing more exciting than going yard, so swing for the fences with the king of sportsbooks. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only, Iowa only. Existing customer offer, subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary depending on market and expire 24 hours from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.